What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick. Just a normal intro, nothing to see here. Cactus here. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel and let me know what you think my next intro should be. That comment section, it's just wild. Alright, today we're going to be showcasing an extremely important addition to Destiny 2 that arrived with the 30th anniversary update. But the crazy part is that this edition was really not talked about. I obviously did a ton of videos going over all of the latest and greatest news about the 30th anniversary update leading to its release, and I don't remember this being announced or even talked about at all. If it was, obviously it was extremely missable. But again, its impact on the game is massive, and what it is essentially Adept Armor. So if you go to the Grasp of Avarice Dungeon, you can actually already select the harder Master difficulty. And you can see right here, the reward is Artifice Armor. Okay, but like, what the heck is Artifice Armor? Well, again, it's the Adept version of armor. So you know how if you beat a Grandmaster Nightfall, you can get the Adept version of a Nightfall weapon. This Adept version will get extra stats if you masterwork it, and it also gains access to Adept weapon mods, such as Adept Big One spec that is a combination of major spec and boss spec, so it's just outright better than either of those because it's both combined into one. Obviously, it's the pinnacle of what you can achieve for loot in Destiny 2. But now we have the armor version of that. So again, what does that look like? Well, you can actually see right here. I'm on my hunter, and after beating the Master Grasp of Avarice Dungeon, which, you know, it was definitely harder than normal, but it really wasn't that bad. If I look at a normal cloak, you can see right here, I've got my different mods showcased, and then I'm going to take a look at a non-masterworked cloak, and there's really nothing to see here other than the power level and the element. But if I look at a hard mode dungeon reward, as you can see, it actually says Artifice Armor. And if we go and inspect that, there's a description. This armor contains a bonus socket that can be used to equip artifact armor mods from the current season. So if we go back to that completely normal cloak, as you can see here, guys, first off, we have our general armor mod socket where we can equip mods that boost our stats. Then we have two different class item armor mod sockets where we can equip seasonal mods, they're a different color, or stasis class item mods, or just normal general finisher class item mods. And then we do have a combat style armor mod socket where we can equip stuff to boost charge with light, elemental wells, etc. And then it ends. But if we go back to that Artifice Armor, now we have our general mod socket, we have our two class item mod sockets, we have our combat style mod socket, and we have another one. It says class item artifact mod. And as you can see, all of those different bluish artifact mods that did appear before, they're all here, and you can equip them specifically to this special mod socket. So I'm actually going to completely masterwork this cloak here. Yup, spent an entire golf ball for you guys. That's worth a like right there. But what I can do in this example setup is put on something like Passive Guard, an unbelievably powerful mod, going to give you so much damage resistance, even usable up to Grandmasters. Then I can actually equip another class item mod. In fact, I could equip 3 class item mods if I had enough energy, but they're very expensive here, so I didn't. But instead, what I can do is put on 2 utility kickstarts. So this says when your class ability energy is fully expended, you know, if I'm a hunter, I'm dodging quite a few times, you gain class ability energy. Like, that's super useful. That's exactly what I want. And now I can equip 2 of them. So previously, I could only ever equip 1 if I wanted Passive Guard, right? But now I can have both of them, and why not also take a look at my stats? Oh, I only have 18 strength. Let's put on a minor strength mod here to boost that up to the next tier, and I still have 1 energy left over, so let's put on a shield break charge mod. This is a great way to become charged with light, especially if you are doing higher level activities. Obviously, match game is always going to be present in those higher level activities, so I'm going to be breaking a lot of shields. And guys, this is the result. So double utility kickstart and a stat boost and a way to get charged with light, and I still have my passive guard. On a normal piece of armor, this would be literally impossible. It would look more something like this, where I only have one utility kickstart, my passive guard. Now I do have 2 extra energy left over, so perhaps I can equip a different combat style mod, but still, that's not necessarily ideal. But guys, this is only just the beginning. We're only looking at a class item right now. Let's take a look at another really valuable piece of Artifice Armor, your gauntlets. Because what goes on gauntlets? Oh, all the different anti-champion mods. So I can specifically put in that final slot something like Overload Bow. And that lets me have 3 different anti-champion rounds. That's right, I can put on Overload Bow, then I'm using an auto rifle so I can put on Anti-Barrier Auto. Oh, and my heavy is a linear fusion. How about Unstoppable linear fusion rounds? Now, this isn't going to matter too much right now, but the fact that this is possible now is a huge deal because we have had Grandmasters before in the past have all 3 champions present. But let's put together a much more practical example of what this armor can really do. So first off, I have my Unstoppable Fusion Rifle mod on, an absolute all-star from the season, and now I'm actually able to put on 2 Fusion Rifle Loader mods for that incredibly fast reload. Heck, let's say I only have 1 on, and then I have an Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle on. My primary is, let's say, a Kinetic Auto Rifle, then I've got the Cartesian, and then how about the Exotic 1000 Voices, and that's going to be a perfect setup. And I have my shield break charge and a little boost to my grenade. Like, this again is literally impossible to have 3 seasonal mods on at the same time without this Artifice Armor. But moving on from there, another extremely valuable piece of Artifice Armor, your leg armor, because what goes in your leg armor? That's right, the seasonal scavenger mods. So I can put Fusion Scavenger or Sword Scavenger for the incredibly low cost of 1 energy in this mod socket, and then I could just go ham with other mods. Heck, I could put on finally one of those holster mods. It would like actually be worth it if I had the space here. Or I could put on various mods for collecting orbs of power. I could put on technically 3 different scavenger mods. If I did squeak together the energy and I used again like that sword scavenger, I could have, let's say, a shotgun scavenger and a fusion rifle scavenger and a sword scavenger all on the same piece of leg armor. Now, when would you actually run that? You wouldn't be running a primary. Again, it's probably not likely, but the fact that you can do this is a big deal. More realistically, this is going to let me put on a scavenger, a holster mod, as well as a benefit for actually collecting orbs of power and a stat boost all at the same time, and a charge with light mod actually, or an elemental well mod, and that is the power of this type of new armor. However, with all of that being said, remember, I am mainly a PvE player, so I'm coming at these loadouts with a PvE perspective. Guys, there are always some incredibly good, incredibly discounted PvP mods available in the seasonal artifact, like Shotgun Dexterity, available for only 1 energy. So you think, wait, can you put on 3 different Shotgun Dexterity mods in the same armor piece? Yes. Yes, you can. How about Linear Fusion Rifle Targeter? Can you put on 3? Yes, 3 Linear Fusion Targeters. Like, do they stack up to 3 times? Like, I don't even know, but if they do, I mean, the Lorentz driver is already a problem. Now you're basically not going to be able to miss? Yeah, so PvP players, there's huge value in this as well. So, if you haven't done the heroic Grasp of Avarice Dungeon, it's absolutely worth doing so for this armor. Don't worry, I do have an ultimate dungeon guide coming up showcasing every single collectible location, all the hidden chests, and a bunch of tips specific for the heroic version of the dungeon. That'll be linked up above as soon as that is complete. But again, this armor is a huge deal. I actually think this is more valuable and better than adept weapons. Like having, 10 extra range or a tiny bit better of a mod is good, don't get me wrong, and a stat boost is nice as well, but just that extra mod slot, especially because it's a seasonal mod slot. The seasonal mods are like the best, most broken mods. Particle Deconstruction is an absolute must run. They also give you huge discounts. I mean, Sword Scavenger costing 1 energy is insane. The Fusion Rifle Reload mod costing only 1 as well. That's also incredible. So getting access to potentially 3 of those mods on 1 piece of armor, or just being able to fit in more mods in 1 armor slot, yeah, this is going to be some of the most desirable loot in the entire game. Guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.